Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Hartley with Action Coach. What needs to pivot in my business, kickstart your day, get you refocused, because business is changing daily right now.
Well, good day. I am Dr. Michael Hartley, a non-medical type of doctor. I operate on business, and today in your business, we're going to focus on what needs to pivot right now in your business, starting with the mindset, your specific mindset. You see, there's a lot of thought out there that says, if I say something, if I put it out there, I will get it. There's one distinction to really pay closer attention to. Because yes, you start saying things, you're putting that energy out there, it's causing what we call your reticular activating system. It's a part of your brain called the RAS. It's setting your RAS, the subconscious, to start focusing on certain things. Here's the key though. You actually have to go do work to get this stuff. It's one thing to put it out there, then you have to actually go do something, then get it. And so the question is just, say it and it happens. It's really, you say it, I desire to have blank, whatever that is, or I'm in the process of, or whatever those things are. And then it's about looking for where do I have the opportunities to now get it. It's not just about saying, I want $1 million. It's about saying, okay, I'd like $1 million business now. Where are my opportunities to actually build that? To shift myself, to become the leader I need to be, the manager I need to be, to have the team required, to have the structure and the systems in place. So it's one part saying, it's mine, right? Putting it out there, saying I've already achieved it. I've desired it. Now I'm going to go get it. And the second part is actually saying, okay, now where do I actually have the opportunities to get it? And maybe by saying it, I'm going to start focusing on getting new opportunities that I've never had in the past and those kind of things. So when you set my destination is blank, whatever that point is, and you start to detail what is all the details that need to go into that. And now you have a point where you're at now and a point where that is, and there's a distance between those two. Now it's about saying, okay, now how am I going to put myself in opportunities to actually go achieve it? So when we look at your mindset, always having that destination point helps oftentimes reduce this anxiety or overwhelming feeling, because we understand that we have a purpose behind why we're doing what we're doing. When we understand that we have a purpose behind it, and every decision now that you make will be decided upon based off of that lens instead of the lens that you have today. Because when we're stressed, or when we're anxious, or when we're overwhelmed, when we have any of these negative feelings, these emotions, it becomes really easy to make decisions through the lens of today. And unfortunately, that's oftentimes what causes businesses to become stagnant, because they're only making decisions based off of the stress points of today, which normally is called negative pressure or perturbation. And what we want positive pressure. We want to make decisions based off of where we're heading. If I was already the CEO of the business I desire to have, how would I be making this decision today? Might it be different? You see, that's why having that destination point is so critical. So we can remind ourselves of where we're taking this thing, why we're taking it that direction. And now we have to go look for those opportunities to actually do it. If you had this choice to make, which starts with the thoughts that you have, if the thoughts that are going through your mind are current state stress, chances are you're going to make a decision based off of that, which may have been the opportunity or one of the opportunities you needed to shift and make a different decision to then ultimately get to your destination. I've talked to really successful people, and I often ask, what would you say was the different moments in time where you made a decision that led to you becoming who you are now, the person you are, the owner of the business you have, those kind of things. And it's never just one thing. Very rarely is it just one, this one moment, type thing. It's about that consistent focus. And they go, well, I made this decision. which led to this. And I could have decided to go this way or that way. And Elon Musk, whether you like him or don't, it doesn't really matter. He stated in an interview that after he had, made his initial massive success and sold his, first couple businesses for hundreds of millions of dollars, and he opened up Tesla and SpaceX. He goes, I was down to my last couple million, which, for most people would be like, oh my goodness, I wish I even had that. And for him, it was, I've had all this success and now I have these two kind of babies of companies, and either I can put all of the rest of my money into one and I guarantee it's going to be successful, or I can put money into both. Now, if you're working through the mindset of today and going, well, I have to be successful, so let's put all my eggs in here and we're just going to be all in. That could have been the right decision. He chose to split his money half and put half one and half the other. And guess what? They both struggled. In fact, Tesla's almost gone out of business a handful of times, if we're being honest about it. And he pushed through, and then guess what? Today, both businesses are super successful. In fact, over the past 3 weeks, his net worth has increased by over $20 billion. Kind of crazy. That's a decision that he could say, okay, yeah, what lens was he looking through to make that decision? My coaching to you, my encouragement to you is to say, okay, when I'm going to make a decision, what's the lens in which I'm actually making it? Ultimately, it should be towards the exit of a business. This is why you should never be in love with your product or service, and you should always be in love with your customer. You and your business are two separate things. You are not your business. At some point, you will exit your business. And if you've never read anything from Keith Cunningham, I highly recommend it. I love one of the things that I've learned from him, which is exiting a business is less about having an exit strategy. I'm gonna say that again. Exiting a business is less about having an exit strategy, and it's actually more about having an exitable business. Having an exit strategy is great and it's smart to have, and if you actually have an exit strategy in place, you're more likely to actually achieve it. With that said, it's less about the strategy and it's more about actually having an exitable business. Statistically, the majority of businesses that, business owners who look to exit a business don't actually sell. The majority of businesses that even go to a business broker to say, I need you to help me sell my business, the majority don't, because they don't have an exitable business. And so part of your strategy has to be, how do I create a business that I can exit, a business that can fully function and run without me being present? Because when I have a business that can run without me, now it is exitable. Now having that exit strategy is far more effective, because I have this business, this entity, this asset that can fully function and run forward whether I'm showing up or not. An investor can come and buy it, because guess what? Minimal effort will be needed. I'll never forget, there was this construction type company who we were working with, and they had a bit of a destination that they thought they desired. Started working with them, introduced an investor who massively increased their vision of destination. They went from saying, we want to kind of be like the source in one city, to saying we want to be the source in the country, the United States of America. Investor came in, elevated their thought process. Now their exit was far more lucrative to them, and they were going to have a nice little wealth event when they created it. They built it in about 3 years. They got it, no, less than that. Actually. It was like 2 years. They got to the point where they were now ready. They were in 10 different states, and they were at the point where they're like, okay, our current capacity is where we're at. We need to bring in now somebody else. And so they actually sold it. They sold it to an investor because it now ran without them. It was able to be duplicated across many states, and they made a whole lot of money. And now this investor has an even grander vision for this business, and he's taking it really like 100x times what they were already doing. It's kind of cool. And that's just the lane in which he plays. And for these local business owners who started something up, who had a vision of saying, I want, maybe, one business to kind of do its thing, to then going, okay, I need to have this to run without me, to the point where it was running without them, to where it actually attracted an investor to put money into this. They expanded even further. Again, this is why you want to have clarity on where you want to go. Their destination point and their vision of what that wealth event could be was massively different as they grew. And that's the beautiful thing about it. As you grow, your vision of your life and the destination of your businesses will grow with it. That's kind of cool. And when you build an entity and asset that can work without you, it's really easy to scale it. Once you have it to where it can run without you, it's easier to duplicate it. And so understand that having an exitable business requires that, regardless if it's one location or 500 locations, whether it's one city or 5 different states. You see, once you have it at that state, then you can decide, yeah, this is good. I'm good with this, and I'll sell it now, or I'm going to have a couple locations, and then I'm going to sell it. Whatever that looks like, it must be exitable. What does that finish line actually look like for you? So now that we have our mindset focused on this destination point that we're going to go achieve, we then bring it back down today. And then we say, okay, what is the one thing that if you achieved it would make everything else easier? What's the one thing that if you achieved it today would make everything else easier to achieve? What if you started your day focusing on that one thing? What if you ended your day every single day going, okay, what's the one thing that if I achieved it tomorrow would make everything easier? And there's going to be fires that pop up in my business, and there's going to be things I have to go tackle and achieve. And as long as I get this one thing done, it'll make everything else in my business easier. And then the next day you focus on the next one. And then the next day you focus on the next one until you build up enough momentum to where then you can say, okay, the next 2. And then you can focus on the 3. What are the 3 things I need to do tomorrow? And when I get these 3 things done, everything else in my business becomes easier. What's your one thing for this week? What's your one thing for today? When you achieve this one thing and you don't let anything else get in the way of achieving this one thing, what is that? If you've never read the book, Eat That Frog, it's a book about procrastination. It's recommended. Whatever that one thing is, you do it first. Whatever that big task that I must get this accomplished to make everything else in my business easier or life better, whatever that is, do it first. It's out of the way. It's now accomplished. Now you can implement it, whatever those kind of next steps are. And then the rest of the day is focused on business as you would normally put it forward. If you dedicated the first hour of every single day to you, the first 59 minutes of your day from the moment you wake up focused on you, your mindset, your activity, your health, your wellness, all those kind of things. And then the next hour was focused on this one thing. So the first 2 hours of your day are focused on you and then this one thing. And then guess what? You get the rest of the day to go focus on everything else. What would that shift in your life? And what would that shift in your business? Oftentimes the first 59 minutes of the day are the most important, which is why we need to focus on you first. What are the things that you're taking into your mindset? Are you looking at your emails in the first 59 minutes? Because you shouldn't. Are you looking at the negative media out there pouring stuff into us? Because that's honestly how they make their money, right? There's lots of negative crap out there. And it's important to understand the issues of today and what's going on. With that said, it may not be how you start your day. How do you actually start your day? What are you allowing into your mind to kick off your day, to set the tone for the rest of the day? What are the activities you're doing to make sure that you're eating right, or health, or whatever those things are? Maybe it's writing, maybe it's reading, maybe it's going for a walk, a run, maybe it's whatever those things are, going on the bike, swim, whatever it is. What are you doing in the first 59 minutes of your day? And then I encourage you to then focus on the next 59 minutes to focus on this one thing. And when you accomplish these first 2 hours of your day focused on the right things, family, you, health, and then the business, not necessarily in that order. What does that look like for the rest of your day when you do that every single day? Think about the shifts that will take place in your business when you do that. All the information of what to do is out there. The question is what will actually cause you to take action? And only you can answer it. So maybe put it on the calendar. Maybe put on the calendar to end today, figuring out what your one thing is for tomorrow. And then block out the first 2 hours of your day for what is right for you to focus on. Or maybe it's the first 59 minutes for you, and then you have some family stuff, getting kids ready and whatnot, and then it's the first hour of business. Figure out what's best for you. The key thing is to do it. Don't procrastinate on it. There's nothing holding you back. Just do it. Less thinking, more action. Do it. The chance of success goes up when you think, plan, and then consistently execute the right things. Keith Cunningham. The chance of success goes up when you think, plan, consistently execute the right things. That last piece is critical. Consistency. How are you going to take everything that you just were walked through and potentially learned, or new connections in the brain, right? 2 points in the brain that made a new connection. You had an aha moment. Oh my goodness, I need to go do this. Or things that you've heard but in the past and just never implemented consistently. How are you going to take all this and create a plan to then do them over and over and over and over and over again? That's what builds success. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm here to elevate your business and enhance your lifestyle. If you're looking for a place to get connected with us. We have a virtual networking group that happens every single Thursday. We guarantee value added. For our clients, it's complimentary. For non-clients, we're going to give you the first 2 weeks to check it out. Just come hang out with us. We're going to add value to you, regardless if you decide to join or not. So jump in and see what that's all about. See how, as a business owner community, we can add value to each other every single week. Just like with anything, you'll get out of it what you put into it. So get connected with us and get connected with me online. Looking to always have those kind of next conversations. What does that look like? If you're watching this for the very first time, we have all of them recorded on our website, on YouTube. They're all there. You can always watch past week's episodes to focus on you. And I always love to get the notes of this is what I learned this week or whatever that may be. So put it in the chat, put it in the comments. What are the top takeaways from today? And more importantly, how are you deciding to take consistent action with each of these things? Make it a good one. Bye for now.